Welcome to the Comedy and Custody podcast. I'm Sasha Frank.
And I'm Nebulous Niang.
And that is comedy because we are both stand-up comedians.
And it's custody because we are both single moms. Well, you're not anymore.
I don't know, because now what happens? Now do I have to leave the podcast? Because
I've been considering,
is this what you've come to tell me? You've put the camera on and all the lights just to tell me I can't be on the comedy.
I came to deliver you some news.
It's just, I've been fired, haven't I, from the podcast. You know, it's weird because being a single mum's been like my identity. It's all I've had really for so long. So I still feel, I don't know, but for the purposes of the podcast, we're both single mums.
Yeah, I'm not even that much of a single mum because I have a stable partner.
Wait a minute, and you have had a stable partner for a long time.
It's just that we're not allowed to get married.
No, I know, but in fact, you're the fraud. It's not me.
I am.
If anyone's fired, you can't fire me. You're fired.
We will fire.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be
just the comedy
podcast with nobody.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so, okay, we spoke endlessly about my life on the last
which I'm fine
podcast.
With.
What has been happening with you?
Well, what a big question. I have come back from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival from doing our comedy special, SLOMOSEXUAL.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was really, it's kind of been like a dream of mine ever since I heard about the Edinburgh Festival.
Yes.
And it was like everything you said it'd be. It's a comedian's dream. It's an actual dream. And getting to do your hour show every day. And most people do a full run, which is like 24, 28 days.
Yes, and you did. How long
I did
were you
like
there for?
9 days. I had a 9-day run. And I think for my purposes, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's like the same time every day at the same place, the 1 hour slot, and you got to get in, you got to clear out on time, which I mean, that's fine because we're stand-up comedians. There's nothing much to clear out.
No. No. Might stand.
Just all your adoring fans. Yeah.
And you sold out. You sold out a lot of your shows.
I would say that the audience was pretty decent most days because I had a very nice, cozy room.
Yeah.
The kind of room which does not exist in Singapore because I think there's like a lot of bars in Edinburgh and maybe in the UK, right? And then the bars have rooms. So I was in a little basement bar in the smallest room, and it was just so cozy. I think like at most it could have fit like 24 people. And then if you squeeze people, it'll be like 30.
Okay.
So like I was so worried that I wouldn't have any audience because, the festival, there's like 3,000 shows going on.
Yeah.
Even not having an audience doesn't mean you're bad. It's really just like people only have so much time.
Yeah.
But still like every day there were at the minimum 8.
Amazing. Which is an audience, which is right? Yeah.
On the good days, they were like basically full.
Yeah.
And because I was part of the free fringe, which means people can't buy tickets in advance. They gotta like turn up.
Yeah.
So you never know until the day itself.
No, you literally just
you really don't.
Wow.
And you kind of just like we'll figure it out as it goes. And people turn up or they don't turn up. Of course, if they don't turn up, you don't know who they are. But when they do turn up, I found that on one hand, I got a flyer, a professional flyer.
Yeah.
By this, we mean energetic young university students, not 40-year-old women, to like flyer for me an hour before the show.
Yeah.
So I got that. But every time I asked the audience, like, how did they hear about the show? It was almost never the flyer.
Oh, interesting.
It was people like literally just searching through the program, like LGBT or lesbian or Singapore.
Okay, because my people came predominantly from flyering, and I also employed flyers, but I ended up spending more money on flyers than I was making.
But that was the previous year's show.
That was the year before. That was Never Date a Comedian, but different format show, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and so it was really cool. And another thing which I had to get used to, quite a few things I had to get used to, because I'm used to performing SLOMOSEXUAL in Singapore to a Singapore audience. So I knew I had to adapt the script to be like 55 minutes because they're very strict about the getting in and getting out. And also I wanted it to appeal to an international audience. So that's exactly why I did it, because I wanted to prove to myself that my humor could be accepted by white people.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And I think it worked. I mean,
so how much did you have to change? Because obviously, like, I've been in Singapore so long, I'm kind of immune to what would be very Singaporean.
I would say it's just a lot of the contextual things.
Okay.
So in Singapore, I talk about how my girlfriend is Malay. So in Singapore, everyone knows what is Malay, right?
Yeah.
But I guess on that, at least in Edinburgh, which I found out is extremely white. Do you know Edinburgh is in Scotland?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know till I turned up.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Where did you think you were going?
It was just a fantasy unicorn land.
Oh, you just thought it was like a little comedy island, and once the festival was done, they pack it up
right next to the Lesbian island.
Oh,
that was the real reason I went.
Okay, well, I hope you weren't disappointed.
No, I was very excited.
It actually exists year round.
I was very excited because it's a really nice town.
It's lovely.
And I love white people.
Thank you on behalf of us all. Big fans of yours, also.
And yeah, so I guess it's just adapting things, or like just telling. I had to start every show by being like, "Hey, I'm Singapore's biggest lesbian, and Singapore is a country that is not in China.
Not in China, yeah.
And it's a country where, and then the way I want to frame it is, it's a country that has existed for 160 years in modernity." Of which for 158 of those years, homosexuality was illegal.
Yeah.
So I start off like that.
Okay.
Just to give them context of like where Singapore is, what Singapore is. And then I have to explain like, but Singapore is a nationality.
Yes.
And there are different ethnicities. Like there's Chinese and there's like Malays and Indians, and like we have different religions. So this kind of sets up, because I kind of, in Singapore, I just take it for granted. I say I'm Chinese, but people are not going to confuse me for like a Chinese national.
Person. Yeah.
Well, I am a Chinese person.
See, I confused you then for a Chinese national. Yeah. That's what happened. Yeah.
And also, like when I talk about my girlfriend, I can't say Malay because they're not going to understand. And I just don't have the time to like explain all of that stuff. So I just kind of use the word Muslim.
Okay.
Which I think everyone understands that. So it's just small things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it worked. It worked really well. And then my favorite part was the bucket speech. So the bucket speech is something that is peculiar to the free fringe, which basically is a free fringe, which means that you can go in for free. You don't have to pay. So how the comedians joke is like, you can come in for free, but you have to pay to come out, and then they block the door. But I don't want to do that. So what they usually do is the comedian will give a bucket speech. Literally, they used to pass a bucket around for people to put whatever they felt the show was worth inside. So you do your bucket speech, right? Which is, it's apparently an art in itself.
Yeah, because I have done it, because even though mine wasn't free fringe, it was pay what you feel. Or
pay what you can.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
I am not a good person for the bucket speech. I'm like, you know what? Don't even worry. Don't even pay. I'll pay. I'll pay you. You know what? It's cool, guys. It's cool. Well, let me just, you know what? I'll throw the bucket away. Like, I'm not. I'm too apologetic for a bucket speech.
No, so I think it's a whole art. And I also got to watch a lot of other people's bucket speeches. Some are like really aggressive, and some are just like, the way they incorporate it is so natural, and you like them so much. You just want to give all your money and your underwear to them. So I was fun like doing my own.
Did anyone give you underwear?
No. Oh. Because I only had a small cup.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know what? Carry on. We don't need to debate.
So I enjoyed giving the bucket speech, because I kind of framed it as like, there's really two parts of me that wants to give this speech, right? There's a very like artistic and enlightened and the fully expressed part of myself, which is like, surely after I've shared my heart with you for a full hour and poured my soul out to you, on top of like the 16-hour flight to Edinburgh with a 2-hour stopover in Turkey.
Yeah.
Surely I deserve 12 pounds. And then there's the other side of me, which is the Chinese auntie.
Yes.
Right? Which is like, you say free what? You say free? And then now you want money. You see? You want bluff me.
Did people get it?
Yeah, they got it. Okay. It's a whole show long. I'm just making fun of my people.
Okay.
Right? So they get it, they expect it. And then I'm like, so you know what? In the end, just do what you feel like, like maybe in a past life, I screwed you over as well. Because in my show, I talk about my past lives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was fun.
And how did it go?
It went pretty well.
Financially.
Yeah, it went pretty well. Yeah. And still, genuinely, some people really just like leave.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fine. I mean, it's fair enough. Like, I don't want to force you to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, karma's going to come get you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of students in Edinburgh. Like, I remember having a group of people, and I guess they were students in retrospect, and they really had a whale of a time when I did Never Date a Comedian, and then they left £5 between like 10 of them.
Yeah,
when they left, and I was a bit like, oh, but then I was like, you know what? I don't necessarily think people are being ungenerous. I think people are paying. We say pay what you can. They're paying what they can,
and you know they're students. I get it, but sometimes it's like full-grown Chinese aunties who just like they just like
enjoy.
No, they did enjoy. They did enjoy. They just pushed past me, and that's fine. I mean, you know, it takes one to know one. And yeah, I feel like the audience members were so cool, and I got to make friends with some of them, like some lesbian couples and like some just really cool queer couples, and just cool people, you know. And I remember there was this two black guys. They're a couple, and they came into my show, and the whole show long, like they were like leaning on each other's shoulders, and I was like, I will never see this in almost never get to see this if I didn't come here.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just nice being in a space where they're there to basically to support you, right? Or to support because they feel like we're part of the same cause, which we are. And they're just like finding me out because they literally did a search of like lesbian or LGBT comedy.
I love that.
And like we're not even from the same country or anything, but some people are here to watch something different. You know? And I would never have gotten to like talk to them if I hadn't gone to Edinburgh,
which is in Scotland.
Edinburgh.
So you picked up the accent.
I'm very good. Yeah.
And I want to know what you thought of the food, because in general, anyone that goes to Edinburgh or really the UK from anywhere else hates the food. But for me, because I'm British, it's nostalgic. So how did you find the food?
I have to say, I didn't eat much Scottish food. I got to try haggis, but it was, I don't know if it was real haggis because it was like in a patty.
I've never tried it.
Yeah, but like it you know, people build it up to be like this really gross thing, but it tasted like a egg McMuffin.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I never tried it.
The sausage McMuffin, I mean, sausage. And so that wasn't. And then the thing which I really fell in love with was the tiffins. Do you know what a tiffin is?
Like an Indian tiffin?
No. No. It's like a Scottish chocolate dessert.
Oh, it's like a square.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love those things. With like stuff. Raisins.
I do know what they. God, I haven't heard that for years. Yes, I do know.
I've got many in me right now.
I do know what that. Oh, okay.
I love tiffins.
And you discovered tunnocks.
Yes, tunnocks.
So my mum's coming over. I've requested some tunnocks because we get them in the UK as well. In the UK, in England as well. And you hadn't had them before?
No. And like when I see the word tunnocks, I just hear buttocks.
Oh, which is why you enjoyed them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But, and the tea cakes. They're exactly like buttocks.
They do look
tunnocks buttocks.
Oh my God. If you've never had a tunnocks tea cake or a tunnocks caramel and you can find one, go and have one, because they are, we should dedicate a whole episode to them.
That's
I would say.
Episode,
we'll have them on the episode.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's,
well, I have to ask you though, is a tea cake like a thing which tunnocks has its own version of it, or did tunnocks invent tea cakes?
Now we're getting to the good stuff. So first of all, I don't know. But here's what's interesting, and I'm using interesting very loosely. But at least I'm not talking about my uterus for an entire 20 minutes this time around. So I'm very enthusiastic about food right now, funnily enough. So we have two things that are called tea cakes in the UK. We have what you might know as a hot cross bun, which you didn't think was a real thing, but it's a real thing, but without the cross on top, essentially. It's just like a bun that you slice and you toast.
Airplane bun.
It's
the one on the airplane.
I don't know.
Because you just described the airplane bun.
Well, I wasn't on the airplane.
No, but all the airplanes have the same bun.
No, okay, I'm going to go with no.
Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one that they just like...
The bread that they give you.
Yeah, this always looks the same.
Yeah, so no, not the same thing. Okay, this is more of like a dessert afternoon with a cup of tea thing, which is just like bread and raisin bread, essentially bread with raisins in it, cooked into a bun, and then you toast it, and you have like a toasted tea cake. So it's nothing to do with a tunnocks tea cake. You also have inferior tea cakes, which are like tunnocks but chewy marshmallow rather than soft marshmallow. You can get them here in Marks and Spencer's.
Oh,
so if you've got the craving, but you don't have the soft squashy marshmallow.
No. What I like about a tea cake is not the marshmallow, but the base.
Well, the base will be consistent, I would say, if you go to Marks and Spencer's. But what tunnocks have is the squashy marshmallow fluff. Oh my God, I want one now.
Oh, you want that?
They're like my favorite food ever. That's what the first thing I buy when I go back to the UK is a box of tunnocks.
The British like their desserts.
We do. I mean, especially at the moment. I love my desserts. But yeah. Yes.
It's a dessert culture.
I don't know. I mean, our savoury food doesn't have a lot of flavour, so maybe that's why. Maybe we need to be...
I like fish and chips.
Do you?
I do.
Have you been to Smith's in Singapore, somewhere in Singapore, like towards Newton, Smith's Fish and Chip Shop?
No.
So Smith's Fish and Chip Shop is the only proper fish and chip shop in Singapore.
What do you mean by proper?
Okay. Oh. I've never been so happy as I have been during this pregnancy to talk about food. I'm so glad you asked. It's not the fish, right? You can get great fish everywhere. Like in a lot of places, like the Gordon Ramsay restaurant obviously does fabulous fish, or, you know, a lot of places do fabulous fish, but Smith's is the only place where you get chip shop chips. And they're like that because they're cooked in a different way that they can't cook them in a restaurant, because in a chip shop, they're cooking them all day long. So they're in and out of
gross.
No, they're just in and out of the oil. It's the way they cook them.
As in it's the fetid oil.
Yeah, maybe it's the fetid oil. Could be. But they come out a particular way where if you get them in a restaurant, no matter where you are in the world, even in the UK, they won't be the same chips as chip shop chips. And there's no... You can tell I'm now married to somebody who's not British, because I very passionately have this conversation with him recently. And like, you can go to the best fish and chip restaurant in the world, but the chips will not be, they can't be the same because of the way they're made.
Okay, I have a question now.
Yes.
What is your definition of good chips?
Well, I like chip shop chips. We call them like Chippy chips in the UK, because you would call a fish and chip shop the Chippy.
Have more objective adjectives.
They just kind of a bit greasy, a bit soggy. I like mine. So I don't want crispy, triple cooked, duck fat, fancy, stacked up. I don't want any of that.
You like soggy chips?
I want them soggy and just like potato. Oh my God. And now I want them for dinner.
Oh, we had this conversation about the potato.
Yes. I'm a big potato fan. I'm just a big food fan at the moment.
I feel like the only point of eating potatoes is when they're either really, 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 really crispy or they are basically liquid.
No,
there's no in between.
I would disagree with both of those things.
I think we should not be friends.
Well, I'm going to make you. I make very good roasted potatoes. That's my speciality, and I'm going to make them. And they are crispy. They're very crispy, and I will make them for you. And they're very.
They have to be so crispy. There's no inside.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, like they're just like the potato used to exist, but they have been fried so hard that the inside has become air.
The water has evaporated out. And they've become just a crunch.
They're like potato chips.
I know exactly what you mean. I don't agree with you. I do think that our friendship is salvageable. I think.
I don't know.
But I do think we have to move swiftly on for the sake of it.
We had a whole aside.
I know. Like we were like,
oh, we're talking about Edinburgh
and our we were like, oh, this podcast we're going to talk about comedy, and it's all going to be about that. And we've gone on to far more important topics.
Yeah. Okay, what else about Edinburgh? Well, it was about meeting all the other really passionate, cool, creative people, because they're everywhere during the Fringe, and it's just so cool to like meet and talk to these people and get to know them. It's like feeling so validated. Like, you're not crazy.
Yes.
Everybody's crazy.
Like you're going to be the least crazy person in Edinburgh. Like with the extent of it, in the most complimentary way to everybody that's there. Like the creativity. It's very hard to describe the Edinburgh Fringe if you've never been there. I think. I can't remember if I've said this on the podcast before, but my mum and stepdad came when I did it last year and had never been. And living in the UK, the Edinburgh Fringe kind of exists on your periphery all the time.
Right.
It's always something you talk about, but they never had a reason to go. And they were just mind blown. Like, it's the way I've only been to Edinburgh during the Fringe, but I presume it doesn't look like that. Otherwise, it's like just performance everywhere.
And it's not just like, I realized after being to the Fringe that my idea of art had been very shaped by what I experienced growing up in Singapore, where in Singapore, I feel like art is usually seen as like high culture.
Yeah.
And like, art is like, it's only legitimate when it's like, number one, very, highbrow, and it's in a nice place. Like, it's a Victoria Concert Hall.
Yeah.
And like the tickets are $128 and there's like an intermission and like shit like that, you know? But the Fringe is the opposite of that. That's the whole reason it exists. It's called the Fringe. It exists on the Fringe. And so, I got to see so many I mean, there's a concept, but you just bring a work in progress.
Yes.
Right? And then tickets can just cost like $5 or something, or even less than that, right?
Yeah.
You just go there and you're just part of an audience and you're there to participate and like help them work out their work in progress. Or it could just be like plays, which you put out as one person, or you and your friend that you know, we could put out a freaking play. I mean, it's not going to be good, but we could put out a play.
Our play would be spectacular. It would be entirely
you know what?
on the subject of tea cakes and potatoes.
And uteri.
Yes, absolutely.
But like, you know, it was just so cool. Like just people just doing and experimenting things, which I had not really understood that concept of art. And well, while I was there was also a collective of Singaporean artists.
Okay.
And you know, they were all doing their own thing. So
Who
there
was there?
Well, so there were two comedians. So there was Sam C and myself.
Okay.
And then there was like the two sorry, I think there was the actors and the producers and the dancers.
Was Joe there?
And sorry,
is it Joe?
Joe Tan? Yes, Joe Tan. So she was really cool. I watched the show, and there was a street performer guy, Jonathan. Sorry, I'm so bad with names, but I remember you and I love you. And it's just so cool. Like we have to go all the way to Edinburgh to meet each other.
Yeah.
And being there, I had never felt so like, oh my God, like this is like an okay thing for Singaporeans to do. I mean, we had to escape from Singapore to do it. But still, it was just so, for the first time in my life, I actually felt part of a group. I've never felt like part of a group.
I very much feel that Edinburgh brings you together like that. And we had a comedian here at Comedy Masala a couple of weeks back, Vincent Shaka, who I met in Edinburgh for the first time. And he had said to me at the time, it was like a long time back now, you know, I don't even think it was last year's Fringe, it was the Fringe before. And he had said, oh, I'd love to come to Singapore. And I was like, oh, you totally should. We'd make it happen. Come do Comedy Masala. And then here we were 2 years later, and it was such a pleasure to see him. And probably we'd met a handful of times, but you make these like
connections,
bonds with people, and then suddenly you have this network around the world. It's
and it's also for me like the whole variety of different types of comedy. Because what is very new to me is the whole like panel show concept, which I think I think the UK people are very into it. So I was on a few panel shows, which I felt like I didn't do very well because like the whole concept is new to me. I'm not very good at improv, and I'm not local, so a lot of the references I can't catch. But I see the way that the local UK people do it. It's so natural to them, like to just like banter and like everything. I know you could do it really well.
Well, that's mainly what I did in Edinburgh. I did many more panel shows than I did stand up. Because that's what I grew up with.
And it's easy for you.
I would say yes. And in some ways easier than stand up.
Oh God. So like I found that really hard because it was very new to me and I was not a local. But still I was just very appreciative to be exposed to like all these different types of comedy. It was just so freaking cool. And a lot of like LGBT content as well.
Of course.
And
did you get out and I suppose like socialize and do any
you know, no, not really, but it is a very progressive kind of city. Like I see a lot of, you know, gay people just being themselves, which is the whole point. You know, and there's just so many shows that even if you were to just watch all the lesbian shows, which I did, just watching all those alone, that could form like a proper lesbian like arts festival in any other country. In any other time.
I don't know how many shows there are. Do you know how many shows there are in Edinburgh?
3,000. They
3,000.
say 3,000.
Amazing.
And I watched like this like wrestling show, like a live wrestling show, but it was made out of like people acting as Norse gods, like Odin and all that. And then there were like these really hot muscular women throwing each other about.
Oh, that sounds right up your street. Okay.
But I was too shy to ask for a photo after that.
Okay, but how do people think of this stuff? Like, it's the creativity that's there is amazing. Like, it's just unbelievable.
It's just, oh my God. And then there was this lady who, she was basically almost naked on stage the whole time. Her name is Betty Grumble. So it sounds like on the outside of it, it's like, this sounds not fun because she's grumbling. But my friend was like, you are going to like this.
Okay.
So when you turn up, Betty Grumble is in chaps. Do you know what chaps are?
Yeah. Like, it's a leg thing.
Yeah, it's like harnessy things, right? So like, you know, but she's like, so you can see her butt, like she's already dancing when you get there, and she's just like covered up here and here and here.
Okay.
But within the first 5 minutes of show, it all comes off.
And that's allowed. Wow.
It all comes off. And at first, and it doesn't feel cheap because she's kind of, after a while, you understand that she's using this sense of like, what do you call it? Getting rid of the taboos, or like addressing the taboo of it, because her body has gone through a lot of like, trauma and pain just from being a woman in the world, and like, being in an abusive relationship. And so it's a whole celebration of like how far she's come.
Okay.
Or at least that's what I chose to think.
Okay.
And then like she even, there's one part where she says, okay, I am going to do a grief come now. And then she makes herself come on stage in front of like 150 people. I know you would die. But the woman next to me was very excited.
Not as excited as the woman on the stage. I mean, look, it's her art, and it's I'm not being remotely disparaging to her art. I mean, that is really pushing the boundaries.
Well, this is the sort of thing that would never come to Asia.
I'm literally in shock just hearing you say it. I'm like,
is that why you've come to Asia?
Because I'm such a prude. Wow. I don't know. I feel like I'm being disparaging to, like, amazing that she has pushed the boundaries.
She gets Australian government funding to come on stage 28 days in a row.
Wow. I don't think I have the vocabulary to say anything more on that matter, actually, other than whoa.
That was cool. So now so this is why my friend knew I would love it. And I did. And it was just such a supportive atmosphere. I guess like it's easy that people could say, this is tawdry or this is cheap or whatever. But she was so into it as art. And everyone there was like also not in an exploitative way.
Yeah.
And it was just so unique.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
So you really saw...
I saw a lot.
A lot. Wow.
I saw a lot.
Amazing.
And so did 149 other people.
I'm too speechless. I'm going to think of all hilarious things to have said in response to this in about 3 hours time. My slow my slow pregnancy brain is just like processing what you've just told me, and like, wow. Incredible. And do you have like Edinburgh like withdrawal now you're not there?
No, I think I got, I wouldn't say withdrawal. I feel like I was just happy to be there, and I was just open to everything. And then when it was over, I was like, whoa, so this is what it's like. Cool.
Will you go back?
I know I will. It's just maybe not so soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to know why I'm going back.
Okay.
They always say this, like when you go to Edinburgh, you have to know why you're doing it, because it's very easy to get lost and like get very involved in like, oh, but like, why did no one turn up, or like, why does no one know me, or like, why is this person doing so much better?
Yeah. I strongly feel that you have to go to either be, like you say, really sure of what you're doing and with your show and what you want to achieve, or just go and do spots, watch other people's shows, participate in other people's shows and enjoy it. I think it should be, and I had, when you were there this year, I mean, I was only a few weeks back, so I was pretty pregnant already, and I was still like, oh, I wonder if I could just fly over. And like Edinburgh also, we didn't talk about this, but is the most exhausting thing you'll ever do. I was exhausted when I was there, and I got sick, and I think a lot of people get sick.
They call it the fringe flu.
The fringe flu. I was so sick, and I don't even think I could have gone up the hills. I mean, I barely go anywhere now, so I don't know how I thought I would do Edinburgh, but I did feel like I missed out.
Oh well, you kept on telling me how the weather would be shit, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, but your version of good and my version of good are different, because I moved here for good weather.
Okay. Well, I thought it was pretty good. Like
every photo I saw, it was raining.
It didn't even rain.
Every photo I saw, you had a coat on.
Well, that's just me being cold.
Okay.
It's cold for me, but for the locals, you're just like walking around in like, singlet.
Oh my god, it's so bloody cold. But it's amazing. It's an amazing place. We've run out of time.
Have we?
I think we can keep going. Tell me more. I mean, I'm okay to keep going, but we're about at our usual time.
Okay.
Do you tell us more Edinburgh stories?
Well, I think the only the one thing which seemed really funny was that on the very first day, the very first day of the run. So obviously I was so nervous and like, is this going to work out? But, the room was packed because a lot of people will come out to support you on your first day. And I was, doing getting into my set. And then I noticed that the whole back row was like really fidgety, like really fidgety. And I was like, oh God, like I'm not holding their attention.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad. And then this lady, actually, I made friends with her the previous night. She suddenly stood up and ran out of the room. And the way the room is laid out, like she has to run up the aisle and past me and out the door. But, I'm doing my set. So I'm like, I guess she really needed to pee. Right? And then after the show, they're like, oh, there was a bee. Not a bee, there was a wasp. They call it a wasp.
Yeah.
Looks like a bee. There was a wasp in the room. In fact, there were wasps in the room. Yeah, and one of them crawled onto her and stung her finger.
Oh, drama.
Yeah, drama. And then
I wonder if everyone else thought it was part of the show.
Right? They're like, oh, she's so sly.
Yeah. Oh, well, dramatic.
So this is what you get for performing in the basement of a bar in summer, I guess. And
where did you perform? Where was your show?
It was at Counting House.
Okay, I know. Yeah.
So the second day I went there and I was like, you know what would really suck? If like I got stung during the show. So I was determined to like rid the room of all the wasps.
Yeah. Wasps. Yeah.
And I found one, but obviously like I'm not gonna risk my life to like catch the wasp.
Okay.
What if it stings me even before the show?
Okay.
And so like the bartender, she was so sweet. I feel like she was gay. She was just like one of those really like doing things kind of gay women.
Okay.
And she just came in and she just got the wasp settled.
Wow, she
just like caught it. Just like that with a cup.
Oh, I need to now. That's a very cool story, but I have to end with a very important question for you.
Yes,
do you have bees in Singapore? I don't know if I've ever seen a bee here.
We do,
but
I don't think they're bumblebees. So when they called those things wasps,
yes,
it looked a lot like what I would call a bee here.
Oh,
but maybe it's wrong.
But not the fluffy, cute kind.
No, there are no fluffy things in Asia.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Yeah, so that same, you just know it has a stingy thing.
Okay, pandas.
Because when I think of wasps, I think of the very skinny ones with like the really long.
Yeah.
So it did not look like that. It looked like more like a fat one.
Okay.
But
really, sorry guys, it's really interesting. So you can switch off anytime.
Yeah, so my takeaway was like, I was so fortunate to have my like lesbian energy bartender. I'm not sure if she was actually gay, but she saved my life.
But well qualified to be.
Yeah, very more so than me.
That's I'm surprised because if there was a bee here now, you don't like insects. I've just remembered.
But I would do it for you because you're my friend. But not a cockroach.
But I think in terms of like killing the insect, it does go like pregnant woman, regular woman, lesbian. In terms of who has to kill.
It's
the
just
insect.
the pecking order.
No, it just is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, we really have run out of time. If you're still here listening to the bee story, and if you know what kind of bees we have in Singapore, please let us know. This has been the Comedy and Custody podcast. I've been Sasha Frank.
And I'm Nebulous Niang.
Bye.
See ya.